So happy together. Are we live? We're live. We're live. Hi, people. I'm so glad to see you. Welcome. I've been doing this earlier and earlier. Rainbow was happy for a second because I made her little bed back there. It was all squished up and she wasn't comfy. She was happy because she was chewing on her bone, and now she's like, yeah, I'm not into that anymore. So she's off doing her rainbow thing. So if you hear her clip-clopping around on the floors or chasing her toys or whatever, she's been scratching lately. I haven't seen any critters on her, but I'm hoping it could be dry skin. I don't know. It could be dry skin. I might put some aloe or something on her. Put some of my oil. I don't actually want to do that because my oil isn't very good for. Well, I think I could use a carrier oil. I'd have to double check, but I think I can just do something basic. So, hi, people. Happy holiday. Happy long weekend. Oh my goodness. I couldn't even think of it. Is it just me or is my, oh, there we go. I was going to say, is my YouTube camera way off, but it came back in, so we're good. We got stuff to talk about. It's gonna be fun. I've got like 4 main topics or 4 main things I want to touch on, but it could be more. I'm wearing my snazzy earrings again. I wore them for another live as well. I need some more like, bold earrings. I got lots of little ones, but I need some bold ones because I just love how when you put earrings on, I talked about this in another live, so you should go back and watch all my lives and then leave little comments and like them and share them and all that kind of stuff so that I look really important to the algorithm. You do not need to go outside, young lady. She thinks she needs to go outside and chase squirrels. She likes squirrels. I'm going to get a cat and name it Squirrel, and then she can chase the squirrel all the time. She loves cats. Loves cats because her big brother Chester was a cat, but he died, and we're very sad about that. Someday I'll tell you stories about my fur kids. The stories of Jack and Chester are very sad. Those were my kitty cat babies. What are you trying to get up there? There's nothing up there for you. And then Rainbow is here with us. She has traveled internationally a couple of times with us and ended up back here in Los Estados Unidos, and we is happy. All right, guys. So we are going to talk about makeup. We're going to talk about body positivity-ish stuff, and we're going to talk about makeup and social justice and hair. I think that's it. So first of all, let's talk about me because, this is my show. But yeah, so the shirt I picked up at Walmart. It's pretty cute. It was in the men's section, but I don't know why this would be in the men's section. They had some really cute ones. I mean, not that I care what you wear. I mean, you do you, right? But it says, forgive like Jesus. And it says Colossians 3:13, so I wore it to church today. And it's very cute. And then I did my eyes kind of-ish to match. And then wore this navy blue polka dotted skirt that I had shown you guys. Can you see that? That I showed you guys a couple weeks ago when I was telling you why you need to have like midi skirts as your kind of go-to spring and summer thing. But anyway, so the palette on my eyes, any guesses? Any guesses? Anybody gonna guess this? Anybody around to guess? Okay, I'm gonna tell you what it is. I have been changing up my MO, so to speak, for trying out palettes. There we go. So this is the Club Nebula. I totally went with the hype. I know I did. I went with the hype. And not only did I get this, but I also got 3 of the other little Futurism palettes, which are just so stunning. So this palette gets so much praise. It's ridiculous how much praise it gets. And I feel like I really need to get into it more, and I need to be better at makeup for me to really appreciate it. But here's what it looks like. So let's see if I can do this without blinding anyone, including myself. I always have to angle away from my ring light so that it doesn't wash out. But look how pretty it is. It's so pretty. I love, okay, YouTube, you can't see it very well, but IG can see it pretty well. This lime green, so pretty. But I have been noticing that's like the same color all of the, everybody wants to put out now. Are you noticing that? Like all the releases from all the indie brands, they've all got that same lime green color in it. I'm like, I don't need like 35 lime greens. I mean, it's a cool color, but I don't need 35 of them. Anyway, but I'm glad I got this one because it got such rave reviews and I really have been enjoying it. I used it yesterday and then I used it today. And then I look back on the pictures from yesterday and I'm like, the looks, they're really similar in many ways. The colors are the same thing. All right, so let's show you what I got. So the earrings are from TJ Maxx, I think, or Marshall's, one of the two. The shirt's from Walmart. You got that. The glasses are from Caked with Makeup, Inc. No, just kidding. They are from Zenny, and they are dirty. Oh, sorry, little glasses, but they're so cute. They're nice, little classic clear ones. And this is what my eye looks like. Looks like. I was a little concerned yesterday because I use this palette, and I usually, even though I have super hooded eyes, I usually don't get any creasing because of the primers that I use and whatnot. I don't have problems with creasing, even though my eyelids are oily and they're really hooded. Like, so you can see how hooded they are, right? So they're like completely hooded, completely. So if I look up, all the way to the eyelash is hidden underneath the hood of that. So such is life. That's hooded eyes. But I don't get creasing generally. So you see, no creasing. This has been on since 8 this morning-ish. And it is 3 now this afternoon. So that's not bad, right? So that's like, what, 7 hours? Not bad at all. And let's see. So it did crease yesterday and I was like, maybe this isn't good. I think what I did though is I actually went over my eyelids with my foundation, which I usually don't do. Come on, YouTube. Stop being silly. There we go. Now we're focused. And so I went over my eyelids with my base and I had mixed this thing. This is the Studio Makeup. I'm trying to use this one and see how I can use it in a way that kind of works. It may end up just getting decluttered because I'm not loving it. I'm not. I feel like that's the kind of thing, if I just want moisture, I can put that on and maybe put some powder over the top. If I get something that's really good, like blurring powder, that might work over the top of it, but I just have to put a really light layer of this because it is really moisturizing. The other thing is I could save it for like the drier winter months. That might be an option. And it also is a little bit light for me. So that might do. This came in Boxy, I think. Boxy Charm. I'm not sure. One of those. Yeah, but oh my goodness, my face right now, it looks fine on the camera because of the lights and whatnot. But no, I do not look good. My face, my eyes, they on point. All right, my eyes are good. But my face, first of all, I was creasing right here in my smile lines. And I don't ever crease here in my smile lines. I'll crease a little bit around my nose. I mean, everybody does that. But I've never, ever creased in my smile lines before. And I was like, what in the heck is that actual thing right there? Right there. And so I was like, that's not cool. But I kind of look like, I ain't gonna lie, I look a little bit like SpongeBob's very distinguished, slightly older sister. Because whatever I did, it went a little bit yellow on me and whatnot. But I'm going to tell you what I did, just in case you care, because I know you do. I actually used this guy. So this is the NYX Marshmallow Primer. I used this, and I had not really used this. So I'm curious as if this is going to be doing something nasty with me. I've heard really, really good things about this. But what's happening on my face right now? No. And then I put it with I'm trying to pan this one, but it's in here. My Matte and Poreless from Maybelline. And I don't generally have problems with this. So I'm thinking somehow it's a combo. But I also, what did I put on for? I just used a loose powder that I've used before with this one, Airspun. I used with it. Oh no, actually, no, I didn't. I actually used this one, the e.l.f. Perfect Finish HD powder. But again, I've never had any problems with this. I use this in my teen zone, and that's where I'm looking really porous. That's why I said like I look like SpongeBob, because I look like a sponge, because I'm porous. Get it? Big craters. It is not pretty. So whatever happened, we're gonna have to like investigate and do some deductive reasoning and figure out what happened there, so that that doesn't happen again, or at least not unless it's in control environment when I can tell. But I mean, on camera, it looks nice. My makeup looks nice. I like it. It's good. The eyes are cute though. So I did the, you know, like the little ombre peach to blue sort of thing, little green underneath. I don't know if you can tell the green anymore. I can't even see. Without my glasses, I can't even think straight. Yeah, this is it's a good palette. I'm not yet hyping like everybody else is, but I got one more day with it. Okay, so this is what we're gonna do. Before, I was doing 5 days with one palette, but I'm gonna show you something. I'm gonna turn this way. Now ignore what's on the bottom shelves because that's just a mess. You see this shelf right here? That's my eyeshadow palettes, okay? Those are the ones I have not done looks with, okay? Hay muchos. Okay, there's a lot of stuff going on there. No está bien. Okay, so I don't know why I'm speaking Spanish right now, but yeah, this is that's how bad it is. I'm speaking Spanish. So I'm thinking instead of doing, because what I was doing is every week I was doing Monday through Friday, and then the weekend I'd do whatever and just kind of pick stuff, and then I wouldn't count that as the look, so I'd just do it for fun, which is fun, you know, because I can kind of dip into things that I had either used before or not used before. But I think what I'm going to do is follow in the footsteps of some other people who like are actually making it on these platforms. Not, you know, I'm just me. I'm just talking. I'm just hanging out, you know, cataloging what I'm doing, letting you guys know, having some conversations, ticking some people off, you know, looking cute, whatever, being sassy. All the things my mom said I'd never make it doing being sassy, but hey, you know, I'm on YouTube. I've got somebody watching me. Well, I got one person watching me on YouTube currently, but I do have like 41 subscribers now. So thank you very much to my 41 subscribers. I really appreciate you. On Instagram, I have like almost 4,500 followers or something like that. Where are y'all? They're all barbecuing. Oh, we can't barbecue here today because it's, well, we can, but it's kind of drizzly and rainy and cold, but whatever. I'm in Minnesota. Whew. I didn't get any sleep last night, so I'm a little bit. Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do with my palettes is I'm going to do 3 days, and I'm just going to go 3 days, 3 days, 3 days, 3 days. So there's no break in between. I just grab a palette, use it for 3 days, and then rank it. And so then I should have like 10 palettes per month, right? And then I can rank them all and kind of give you guys my opinion. And then I hopefully can get through all these and also any new ones that come in. There may or may not be some new palettes coming, but you guys already knew that if you have watched my other lives, because I'm Boxy. I already told you that I ordered something on Boxy. I have not ordered anything else, but my new Boxy had me choose, and I chose a little 4 palette from, I forget, something. I have something else from them right here. So let me see. Maven. I knew it started with an M. From Maven. So there's like these little glitter palettes. And I'm like, maybe I don't count those as a palette because it's glitter, and that's kind of like an extra thing. I don't know. Is that cheating, not counting it as a palette? I don't know. Anyway, so yeah. We'll see. But then I could actually technically get more. But the only ones that I have right now that I'm really kind of set on for June, which is a couple days away, and then I can hit that buy button once rent is paid and whatnot. And that is the last two, which is actually the first two of the 16 pan LA Girl, which are the hot heat. The two hot heat. One is Hey Vacay, and the other one is something about Hawaii or something like that. Anyway, those are really super cute, but I just love that formula and I love those palettes. And so I want all of them, and I got 2 more to get, and I'm like, I may as well get them. And then I do kind of want because I'm getting those from Beauty Bay, I also want the Beauty Bay new water activated liners, because I want to try them and see how they do, because my eyes are, as we've established, hooded, saggy, old, 45 years old. What are we chewing on? She's destroying her little puppy dog that she's been destroying for quite some time. So anyway, but yeah, I'll let you guys know what I think of this. It's not going to be in today's ranking because I have not finished. I've got to look with it tomorrow, but I will be posting all 3 of the looks on IG. Follow me there if you're not already. You guys want to see some palettes? But first, what should we talk about first? Okay, let's hit this real quick. So last week, we talked about, no, you know what? We're going to go here. Okay. So I've been having some conversations. See, this is where everybody's like, unsubscribe, unfollow. She does not fit my political agenda, and so I don't really want to follow her. Okay. So here's the deal. Pickle. I told you I didn't get any sleep. I'm really corny right now. I'm telling dad jokes. That's how bad it is. Anyway, so basically, I have some views on makeup and social justice. First of all, I have views on social justice. A little bit of my background is that I live in a world of social justice. I live and work and exist in a world of social justice. What you see here, you don't really know me, the real me, whatever. I talk about like my time in overseas and whatnot. Overseas. But my whole thing is that I do everything that I do in order to empower people. This is my life philosophy. This is how I believe. This is everything I work for, but I don't pussyfoot around. Okay. And that's the thing, is that a lot of people, they want me to be like all delicate and, sweet and like, okay, guys, now what we really need to do is, let's get together and just talk about what it is that makes us feel. No, forget that. If we got an issue, we're going to talk about an issue. And I'm really straightforward and direct and whatnot. And it works really well. Like, for example, when I'm in Haiti, when I'm in the Dominican Republic, when I'm in other places like that, Mexico, whatnot, it works really well in an authoritative position. That sounds strange, but like, for example, I'm in a position of an instructor or a professor or something like that. So in my work that I've done, so when I was in Haiti, I was working on campus at a university there, and I was teaching critical thinking and humanities and theology and whatnot. And I still teach there, but I teach remotely now because we had to leave because of social unrest and whatnot. There's a rash of kidnappings that's been going on for a while. So, no, Rainbow, you go do your own thing. She wants attentions. My puppy wants attentions. Go to bed, Rainbow. Go to bed. Yeah, I don't want to go to bed, Mom. I've been in bed all day. Anyway, so I very much believe in walking out a real conviction of empowerment. I believe empowerment is what will change the world. And I believe when there are disadvantaged individuals, and all of us in one way or another are disadvantaged. Everyone, Donald Trump's children are disadvantaged. They are, because they will never be able to shed the name of their father. They will never be able to to get outside and do anything for themselves because, even though they're gajillionaires and they have all of this and all these opportunities and whatnot, they are disadvantaged in a way. So everybody has disadvantage. Those disadvantages are not the same, and they are not, the obstacles are not equal. Clearly Donald Trump's, yay, from Kenya. All right, excellent. So, Donald Trump's, his obstacles are completely different than my obstacles, for example, or somebody from Kenya, that might be a little bit different obstacle, right? So everybody has obstacles. And I believe that it is our job to find how to overcome our own obstacles and then to help other people overcome their obstacles. And not only overcome them, but learn from them. Embrace our obstacles, because our obstacles are what make us strong. Our obstacles are what develop our character. And so when we get into things like social justice, the real social justice is really reaching horizontally out to somebody and saying, let me take your hand and walk with you in this, whatever that happens to be. And it might be that I have more experience, and it might just be that I want to be your friend. Maybe I don't know what you're doing. Maybe I can't necessarily help you exactly in what you're doing, but I want to be your friend and I want to relate to you, right? And so that is how real, I think, social justice happens. It's in a neighbor one-on-one sort of thing. What I have an issue with, this is what I have an issue with, and I had an issue with this when I was in Haiti. I have an issue with this. I am married to a minority immigrant. I have my other minority immigrants and non-immigrants, minorities in my family. And this is, these are the people that I'm surrounded with all the time. And when I see social justice as, let's reach down to these people and help them up to our level, it makes me want to puke. It really makes me want to puke. Now, I get it. I do. I understand that if someone does not appear to have as much as you, they don't have as much opportunity, they don't have as much, wealth, they don't have as much respect, they don't have as much power, influence, whatever it is, intelligence, whatever, that, yes, there is a little bit of that, maybe reaching down from your experience. But in my case, even as a professor, even as a minister, even as somebody, who works on this, I don't even know how to explain it. Works kind of in a level of influence, of affluence, maybe, of power, authority, and yeah, that would probably be it. I don't like to think of myself as reaching down, because as soon as you do that, you're finished. I don't think you can have any social influence in anybody's life. And so that's where my issue with social justice is. Social justice usually is not about the person you're reaching down to. Social justice is usually about yourself. That's the reason people who do social justice put it all over Facebook. They make it their banner. They put it on their t-shirts. They, advertise it all over the place. They want everybody to know exactly what they're doing, because they need it. They need to be needed. They need to be relevant. And the way they are relevant is by reminding themselves that they actually are superior to these people that they're helping. I just lost half my followers right there. That's okay. I'm okay with that, because I will not speak the truth. I won't do it. And I know that there's so many people that want to help, but there is an arrogance, especially, now I'm saying this because I lived it, as Americans. And it's not just Americans. Europeans can be really arrogant, and not just Kenyans. I am very, very well acquainted with Kenyans and other Africans. They can be really arrogant. Everybody thinks they are right. We all think we are right. Haitians can be very arrogant. So we all have our arrogance, and we go to somebody else thinking our way is the right way. So this is my issue with social justice. Is usually social justice is somebody from the elite class or who believes they are the elite class, and that's a problem in and of itself, is the fact that you believe that you have an advantage over somebody else is actually an ism. Racism, sexism, whatever else. If you think that this person is weak enough that they need your help, that's bigotry, because they don't. They don't actually need your help. You have nothing to give them. You truly have nothing to give them. The best thing you can give someone, if you have that attitude that you are here and they're here, get out of their way, because you're never going to be able to help them. That's why I've told my students in Haiti, they would always say, oh, the government needs to do this and that and everything else. And I'm like, when have you known the government to do anything to help Haitians, or anyone else for that matter? Or they'll say, well, the rich people should do it. Have you ever seen that happen? Have rich people ever helped Haitians? No, they haven't. Not to any extent, right? They've always gotten richer themselves in the process of it, which makes you question exactly what they're doing. And so this is my issue with social justice, is that it's so icky. It's become so icky, and yet we wear it like a badge. I am a social justice warrior. What does that mean? What does that mean? Who is it that you actually are working with? Who are you training? Who have you driven to get their driver's license? Who have you taken to the employment agency? Who have you sat down with and showed them, like, how to fill out an application and how to have an interview? Who have you, taught English to? Who have you just gone and been their friend, taken them to coffee, hung out with them and been their equal? You are not above them. And that's the problem with social justice. Social justice innately is a superior person who has deemed themselves to be superior in one way or another. And I know it's just, well, I'm just privileged. No, you're not privileged. But then there's this thing, well, of course you're privileged. Of course you're privileged. No, you're not. You're not. Oh, I'm going to get in so much trouble. White privilege. There's privilege. We all have privilege. Everybody is privileged in one way or another. Again, that doesn't mean we're all at the same place, or that we're going to be at the same ending point. The whole point with social justice is that it's all about looking down at people. So here's my issue. Okay, getting back to makeup, because that's what this channel is about, even though I get on tangents. If I've got XYZ palette, and I say, look at this beautiful palette. Oh my goodness, look at this beautiful palette. And oh, by the way, proceeds are going to go just to feed the starving children in Indonesia or wherever, right? I don't know where starving children are currently. I mean, I do know where starving children are, but I don't know where, necessarily in that part of the world where the most starving children are. And so I say, okay, look at this beautiful palette. What is the purpose? And this is what makes it so dirty, is that when I have you buy this palette and tell you 10% or 20% or one pair of shoes or whatever it is goes to XYZ, ultimately, my only concern is more sales. And that's icky. I really don't even want to buy something that is like proceeds go to XYZ. Now, if the whole thing is set up like that and you're like, okay, from our company, we send money to this and that, I'm like, okay. But if you're going to do like a campaign, and this is what happened, like, the BLM thing coming up and everything, all that kind of stuff. And then there was this, what was it called? Black is, I forgot what it's called, but that, ColourPop did it. And actually ColourPop was the one that did it justice, I think, of all of them. But they actually put out a palette, and some other places, like, put these things out and said, these are marketed for this, like, a percentage of these proceeds are going to go to BLM or whatever. And of course, then they put the money in the wrong place. And that's a whole scandal. But anyway, and that's the other thing is check where your money is actually going, because it could be funding some people that you don't necessarily want to be funding. But yeah, so it's like they put this stuff out, and it was like, well, the proceeds go to this and that and everything else, and it was like a half effort, right? I wanted to say half-ass, but it's. I'm supposed to watch my mouth. I'm not supposed to say naughty words, but you know what I mean? Really, that's what it is. They were making a half effort, halfway doing it. And it was like, so many of these companies were taking things that already existed. They weren't even bothering to like make something new or pretend to make something new. They were just repackaging it and saying, oh yeah, now we care about Black people. And now the same thing is happening with Asian people. And then it's going to happen with, XYZ, and it will just keep going around, and it's all a money grab. It's all a money grab. And I don't care if you want to make money. I just care about people like, oh my goodness, so this is a Black-owned company. And I talked about this before too, is that if you've got good stuff, I'm going to buy your stuff. I love Juvia's Place because it's good stuff. There's other Black-owned companies that I've got. I don't even know who's Black-owned because it doesn't make, I don't care. If your stuff is good, I'm going to buy it. So social justice and makeup, does it fit? Does it work together? Is it important? I think that you can use a platform. I think when you have somebody's ear, I think using your platform is good. I just don't like to see it for a money grab. But the other thing is, I don't like people who don't know what they're talking about to get up here and lecture. And I guess that's where my other thing, it's a fine line, because you get people like the Kardashians who don't know anything about anything other than social media. They're smart ladies when it comes to like marketing and selling themselves basically to make a lot of money. So that, they really got that down, but undeniably, but don't take their advice on politics because they don't know anything. So anyway, I've been having conversations. I get heated sometimes when people get on and say things. And this was one of the things that came up. A certain person that I really enjoy watching. I really like her looks. I really like the way she does makeup. And I like her personality in general. And she came on here and started making these, social justice and this and that, and I can't support this brand because XYZ and everything. And of course, then I looked into it because I'm a logician, and I have to. If somebody says, this is what happened to me. Somebody says Donald Trump is racist, and I said, really? I'm going to find out. And I did the research. Did you do the research? Did you? I don't like Donald Trump. I think he's annoying. I can't listen to the dude. I can't. But he is not a racist. If you want to compare the dude you got in the White House right now, he is way more racist. Like leaps and bounds. Oh my goodness, there goes the rest of my subscribers, right? That dude should not. Oh my goodness. How did he get elected? Because he's got a D in front of his name. And that's it. That is the only reason. If Donald Trump had had a D in front of his name, the leftists would have loved him. I know. Why? Because they loved him for decades before. They always loved him until suddenly he had an R in front of his name. Politics is just stupid. Anyway, politics, social justice, right? So she said something and basically said, everybody who votes for Donald Trump, whatever, is a white supremacist. And I was like, the biggest Trump supporters I know are not white. Like personally, like the people that I know who are like MAGA hats and whatnot, they're not white. They're as not white as can be. They're like as, minorities, women, not straight, all this. I mean, they're like every category of minority. It's social justice and makeup. Where is the end of it? Where's the end of it? And then we start fighting and we start labeling people as racist because they voted for someone? You're going to tell me half this country is racist. Really? 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 That's it. Okay, we might come back to that later. I don't know. Let's talk about makeup. Actual makeup, not social justice makeup. I know I lose people with the stuff, but I feel like some of the stuff just has to be said. And some people like it. I have people that come back and they're like, hey, I really like what you said. I'm like, good. I'm going to go through my last, I think there's 13 palettes here. So these are the ones that I did 5 days for a palette. Now, I apologize because some of these palettes, most of these palettes, in fact, except for the last 2, I think. Yeah, I think I put in my stories, not on my Instagram feed, but you can see them in my spring 2021 looks. So they are all in there. You just have to go through the whole thing. And I think almost all of them are in there. So you can still see the looks, but I thought it would be easier if I would just put it in the post actually on my Instagram feed. Whew, man, we got a lot to go through still. And okay, the last one coming in last place. I ranked all these based on what I liked, how I like to work with them, my overall feeling. All right, some of it's quality. I didn't have any sort of fancy ranking system, whatever. I just felt the spirit and went with it. Last place. I like this palette. I want to love this palette. It was hard for me, and it's not the palette's fault. It's my fault. Okay, it's not you. It's me. All right, that's what I've got to say about this palette. To this palette. That's this one right here. This is the Aura and Out from ColourPop. It's from their tie-dye collection. This is such a cute palette. It's so cute. I wanted to love this palette. I'm just not good enough for this palette. It's just so light and so airy, and I think here's the problem. I wear glasses every day. And so to make these actually, I mean, if I wear these glasses every day, it would be okay because they would, it wouldn't really cover up. But I wear all different kinds of glasses, and I think that's where it it seems like the looks were just getting lost a little bit. I think now, because this was one of the first ones that I did, I think if I went back to this, I think I'd be a lot better at it. I'm not going to get too deep into these, but I just want to give you like a little reason why. But I'm excited to try this one again. This is I'm not decluttering anything. I'm going to hang on to all these. I will continue to love them and work my way through them. But yeah, so for right now, that's the last of, I think, 13. Next one is this one, Revolution. It's their weed palette, Makeup Revolution, chilled with cannabis sativa. Again, a beautiful palette. This one is just a little bit tough for me to work with. And it seemed like it was a little on the patchy side. The other issue with this is it tended to give me the same looks because all of the greens really are the same sort of tone. I'm trying not to blind you. Are the same sort of tone there. They're beautiful. It's a beautiful tone. But I just feel like this palette probably could have been a 6-pan and it would have been perfectly sufficient. I do like the pressed glitters. I am one who does not mind blinding myself, so I'm good with that. JK. But hey, I live life, right? YOLO. So this second from the bottom, whatever. Yeah, that one. I liked it. This is the one I did last week. Again, I liked it. But in this one, it's not the color story. It's a little bit of quality. I love this company. And that's Profusion. And it's their neons. I love this company. I love Profusion eyeshadows. I love them. But this one and the Spectrum, which I also have, which is more like the rainbow one, they're mattes. And they're great. They're a little bit on the powdery side, a little bit on the dry powdery side. They can be patchy. They can have a little, what you basically have to do, you can't really layer a darker color over a lighter color. You basically have to lay down your dark color and then blend it out with a lighter color. And I found that works pretty well. You have to work with these a little bit. This one is a shimmer. That's the only one. This chartreuse sort of green lemon. I don't know what that is. And it's really nice. So I did really cute looks with this last week. You can see them on my IG. Check that out. I like the palette. I will continue to use the palette. Definitely worth the $5 that it costs. So don't, I mean, if you like a colorful palette, this is a good place to start. It's definitely not the best, but it's a good place to start. Now we're getting into, well, okay, let's just continue. All right, so now the next one that I've got, so that's the third. This is the fourth one. Again, from the bottom, we're going up from the bottom. Meaning these are the worst ones, but I don't hate them. They're just not as good as the other ones. Everybody says that, right? I have to be like all of the others that are on YouTube and IG because, I want to be cool too. Elf. Why am I talking like that? Earth and Ocean. So this is the green and blue palette. And the only reason is because it's blue and green. And as I'm wearing blue eyeshadow, I don't do that much. Super like grungy. I mean, if you like grungy, this is a beautiful palette for that. And then it has some brightness in it. It's really nice. And it's really nice in like a fall. I mean, it kind of year round it really works. I actually did this in March because I was doing green palettes for March. Really pretty, but it is, this Oasis color here doesn't do real well. And yeah, I mean, it's been loved. I did pretty well with it. I got some great looks out of it. I will be enjoying using that again. Nothing wrong with the palette. Again, just not really my color story. Only that. Speaking of which, so this is my first Juvia's Place in the pile. And that is the Nubian. So this is their original, like the one that went big, right? This is why this one is ranked a little bit lower than some of the other ones. So this one is 5th from the bottom. And it's just because it's all neutrals. It is gorgeous, really beautiful. The looks I did, I guess Rainbow just needed to go underneath the table and whack everything. The looks I did with this were really lovely. It doesn't even look like I've used it. That's like how hard packed these are. And I mean, they're solid. But this is really nice. I think it is one of the best neutral palettes you can possibly get. Rainbow, relax. But it's neutral. Your girl likes color. Now we're getting into the ones that I like a lot. This is one of my favorite green palettes ever. I told you I don't really wear a lot of green, but this kind of green I wear. Profusion again. I got a lot of Profusion because I like them. You see how this one has been really well loved. This was one of my two first. I got them at the same time. This one and the Smoky palette from Profusion. I got the same day. And that was the day I discovered Profusion and I went, oh, I can't believe these. This is such a gorgeous green palette. So gorgeous. This color right here. Makes my heart sing. So beautiful. I mean, just in general, like this is such a well-curated palette. The neutrals that go with here, the different tones of green. I mean, beautiful. Love this palette. But I'm not a green girl. If that was purple, honey, you tell me. That's really all it is. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 7, we've actually got 3 together. Because there's the itsy bitsy little bite size. These are the elf bite size, and I actually did these together. That's why I'm ranking them together. But I can actually tell you which ones I like of this the most. And that is, so I have all of the elf bite size currently, unless they come out with more. So here I have the Rosewater, the Mint to Be, and the Acai. So this one is the worst out of the bunch, and it's the most expensive out of the bunch. These ones are 4 and these ones are 3. Whatever, this was a special thing. This one right here, this mint color, is pretty much useless. Doesn't really do a whole lot. It takes forever to build up and then it just kind of blows away. So, but this color on the end is really interesting and really beautiful. Again, a little bit dusty, so it doesn't have the staying power. These two shimmers here on the end, they're really pretty. This one on the end, it gives me a little bit of a toothpaste sort of vibe. So I kind of have to wear that the right way, but I do really like this one here. But I do think that the other mint, it's not, this one's meant to be, the other one is, I don't know. Oh, chocolate mint, maybe? Anyway, I think that one's better because I think it's just put together a little bit better. That's the worst. This one would be the next, and not because I don't like it, but just because with this, you can tend to get that like punched in the eye sort of look. But the great thing about this is like a periwinkle, and this is like a deep periwinkle. And so you can end up with a really almost purple royal eye, and it is really gorgeous. So you've got a matte and a matte, really nice. Try to fly through these. And then this one is absolutely my favorite of the bunch. It is a stunning palette, pretty neutral, but kind of a mauve-y sort of rosy thing, and cool toned. Highly recommend that one for sure. If you like color, do the acai you. Unless you really like green, then go for the other one. Next one, this one would have been higher if it was just not so neutral. Because I really like it. I like the formula. I like the colors, everything. And that is the Ofra Samantha March collab. It ranked this high because it is a purple theme. And that's just my perfect neutral. But it would have ranked higher if it was a little bit brighter and a little bit more sassy. So yeah, but I really like this as far as a neutral palette. I think it's a great neutral palette. Very much recommend. I like these face products in here too. I will probably not reach for them unless I'm using the eye palette, because I just don't think that way, but I might. I don't know. Yeah. So I really like that one. We got another profusion. We got a profusion of profusion. This is the Nude Bliss. And not all of these big palettes get a lot of really good love, but I love this palette. It's so pretty. As far as a nude palette, let me open it up and show you. This is what we've got. And it looks like, you know, these are all just kind of boring. They're not. You've got shimmers. You've got, I mean, really distinct colors in there. They're very richly pigmented. There's not an underperformer in the bunch. There really is not. You do have one pressed glitter. So if that's a problem, yeah, sorry. But it's one, so you can deal with it. And it really does a good job of going fairly dark to quite light. Doesn't go as dark as you might, but it's going to work for the vast majority of skin tones. And it will work for all skin tones if you use the right base. But it's not necessarily going to just be a kind of a one and done, easy to go for necessarily all. It can be. Some of those shimmers are really, really nice and would look really nice on a deep skin tone, super deep skin tone. So yeah, really beautiful palette. All right, now we're in the top, my absolute favorites of the whole bunch. BH Cosmetics, these are the top four. Summer and Saint-Tropez, Gore. Why is this so hard? Oh, I was holding it down with my finger. Some of these got a little bit damaged because I have a habit of dropping my palettes on the tile floor that's below me because I failed at life multiple times. Yeah, so they're a little chunky because I had to like put some alcohol and push them back in. So pretty. In fact, this would be like the replacement for the Profusion Bright Color, because these mattes here are just gorgeous. I could probably actually get rid of that Profusion one. I won't right now. I may eventually move it on. So, hi, my buddy's here. So anyway, this is, yeah, it's just a really pretty color story. I had so much fun with this. Well, I don't see you, but I see you seeing me. I see you saying that you see me. Does that make sense? Am I allowed to say your name, or are you like, I got in trouble because I'm not in trouble, but somebody was like, you said who I was, and then that can get me in trouble. I'm like, really? Okay. I don't want to say like names of people if they're like, so Warmy, we'll call her Warmy. So she's my buddy. She's been like gone forever. I haven't seen her since before I went to Haiti and she went to Indonesia. Is that where you were? Yeah. So yeah, we like went opposite directions, and we're both back in Minnesota, but still haven't seen each other. So, all right. So third from the top. Look at this. Is this not gorgeous? This is another Juvia's Place, and I love it. So it is their Violets palette. I can't even. I just don't need to say anything. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? Oh my goodness. And it's just perfect because it's got this light and the dark and the mattes. Oh my goodness. Let's talk, Priscilla. Use your words. And then it's got the 4 quite distinct shimmers. So beautiful. You really do, even though it's very monochromatic, you can really do some really unique looks out of that one. Love that one. Okay. Blowing through there, second from the top. I told you I liked LA Girl 16 pan palettes. Oh, these are special. They're so special. This palette, this is the main stage, Desert Dream, backstage, whatever. I don't know. Look at the color story. Okay, now let's compare these greens because I got this other one on my hand. They're different enough. This one is just like super, super foiled and much brighter. So that's those 2 greens. I don't know. It's so funny. I mean, I've always loved purple and green, but like green has not been the color for me to wear because I felt like it washed me out. But now I can like do little pops here and there. And I'm like, I love it. But I love this palette. It's so creative. The quality is so there. This one also I had to repress because it came shattered. These ones tend to do that. Some of their shimmers are really soft. And so it kind of gets a little bit weird. So anyway, but ooh, look at that green. Just beautiful performance. I love it, love it, love it. In fact, that's way better than this one, actually. They're both beautiful, but it's yeah. Okay. But this one's, well, actually, this one's $5 for 10 pans, and this one is $15 for 16 pans. So, yeah. Considerable differences, like, twice as much. And the last one, last but not least, please drum roll. I'm not a drummer. Nabla, the secret palette. First of all, it really pretty on the outside. It's all like raised and embossed and stuff. Oh, it's so pretty. It's got shiny stuff. I'm such a girl. I'm also such a boy sometimes, tomboy. And that's what it looks like. I did not think I would be as blown away by this palette because it looks quite neutral, and it is. But my goodness, does this thing perform? It has some absolute punch. There's so many looks you can do with this. So many. And I want to open it up again and just eat it. Okay, I don't want to eat it. But it's so cute. Look at it. It's so pretty. Oh my goodness. So I got this actually in the Ulta spring sale, whatever thing. And I was waiting. And I finally got this one. And I got the secret palette. Wait, this is the secret palette and what's the other one? Anyway, Dreamer 2. And I love that one too, but that one feels very wintry for me. I mean, I adore it, but it feels like it's very wintry. And so I probably won't use it until winter. But that is the ranking of my last 13 palettes. From bottom to top, literally. So hopefully that gives you something. Some of them are older palettes. None of them are very new. But some of them have come out in the last year or so. So I'm not that bougie that I need to have like the best thing all the time, but I thought that would be interesting to go through there. And so I'll plan to do that in the future. Ladies and gents, we're almost at time. I said I was going to talk about peeing in my hair. You want to hear me talk about peeing in my hair? I will give you the really short version, and then if you want to talk about it more later, you can. I ended up doing research when I was in Haiti because I was losing my hair and I was so tired of it. And I remembered, or I came across somebody because of acne, because I was also dealing with acne when I wasn't really doing the oil thing. I'd been doing the oil thing and then I kind of stopped. And somebody said urine. No, maybe. Anyway, somebody said urine was good for your skin or your hair or something. And I thought, I wonder what else urine is good for. Because what I was looking at said urine has this benefit, and it has protein. Oh, that was the thing. It has protein. It has lots of vitamins. It's very close to your natural pH. Clearly it comes out of your body. And it's sterile and all this other kind of stuff. And I was like, huh, interesting. Now I went in the rabbit trail, and apparently there's people who like drink their own urine. Your girl ain't gonna go that far. I'm not gonna do that, right? I know. No. But I put it in my hair. I will admit, I don't currently do that, but I did for a while because I was like, my hair, you know what? When you are 40 years old, not even feeling old, like, you know, you're living your best life, moved to the tropics, feeling all sassy, and you are bald. You take drastic measures because you just don't want to be bald. So you are willing to do what it takes to reverse that. So don't blame me, man. Don't blame me. I don't know if it actually helped, but because I was doing a bunch of other things at the time, it was not a scientific sort of project. It was just me trying to grow my hair back. Something worked, but I do think that the main thing that worked was, as I said a few videos back, a few lives back, that I self-medicated myself through progesterone hormones, but it was like a Clomid sort of thing, which you could do in Haiti, but you can't do in developed parts of the world. And that's what got my cycle regular. And that really helped with everything. That just has taken care of everything. Really helped with my hair, because what would happen is when my cycle would be way off, then I'd lose my hair because of PCOS. I have to mention that in every video so people know that that's what my condition is. And so that would really affect it. So now my hair is not super thick on top. You can see it's still really thin, and it's still, you see how it kind of, you can see where it fell out and then grew back in. So when it falls out, it's right here on the crown. So I can't really do bangs. I really want to do bangs, but I can't, because like I would have to cut my hair way back here to try to get any resemblance of like an even bang. Well, maybe I could. Maybe I could now. I definitely couldn't before. I think that would look really crazy. I feel like I need to do my bangs for them to look right. I need to do them like right about here, and that won't work. When I was a kid, I went in and got my hair, not a kid, but like, you know, a teenager. I went in and got my hair cut, and she was like, why do you cut your hair? And I'm like, I didn't. She's like, you did. I can tell. That was the beginning of my discovery that, guess what? I'm not the same as other people. My body does weird things. I didn't know it was PCOS until like a decade and a half later or something like that, which is really sad, because I could have done a lot of things to help before that. Do I recommend that you pee in your hair? Sure. Didn't hurt me. Try the experiment. Pee in a cup, dump it in your hair, and wash it out. I would wash it afterwards, so it wasn't the last thing I put in there. I would just put it in at the beginning and then kind of let it sit there a little bit while I was, you know, washing the rest of my body, and then I would come back, rinse it out, and then I'd wash over the top of that to make sure that there wasn't pee hanging out in my hair. People use it on their face for acne. People use it on their feet for, you know, athlete's foot. It's good for a lot of different things. So if you're going to pee on something, sure, pee in your hair. I don't care. It might help. I'm curious, has anybody else done anything drastic like that? Have you put anything crazy in your hair? That's the craziest thing I put in my hair. That's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. I gotta say. Yeah, I think so. Oh man, we was gonna talk about being happy at any size. So last week I talked about how I don't believe in being healthy at any size because that's a misnomer, because the whole idea is that you can actually measure health. You can't. Health is, it's a spectrum, and you don't know, like my dad, he was healthy and he died in his early 50s. My mom is unhealthy and she's in her 80s. So health does not equal longevity. Health does not equal happiness. And ultimately, the most important thing is happiness, not health. But if you are happy, you will be healthy. Also, if you're healthy, you may be happier, but not necessarily. If you're getting healthy, usually that means skinny. That's the problem. Don't think healthy is skinny. If you're getting healthy in order to be happy, we have a problem. That's not gonna happen. Okay. So if you're trying to change your body in order to be happy, not gonna happen. So last time I talked about how I believe that the first step to being happy in any size is to have faith. You must have faith in something bigger than yourself. It cannot be in yourself. You can have confidence in yourself to a certain point, but you cannot have faith in yourself because you will let yourself down. And that is, faith needs to be something where you know there's something bigger than yourself, more powerful than yourself, greater than yourself, whatever that happens to be. I have my beliefs. I'm happy to share them, but that's not what I'm trying to talk about right now. And so you need to have faith. You need to have faith in something bigger than yourself. It also cannot be another person. And no, it can't be an animal. My dog is adorable, but she's not bigger than myself. She's not. She likes to chase balls and she likes to snuggle and she's adorable, but I don't have faith in her because sometimes if there's a squirrel outside, she doesn't want to come in. So I can't have faith in her. All right. But anyway, that was the one thing. Now, the next thing that you need to do is know your identity. And to know your identity, you have to know where your faith lies. Because you can't know who you are unless you know what or who is bigger than yourself. So this is the age-old question. The step to happiness, not health. At any size, you can be happy. As a fat girl, as an old fat girl like me, you can be happy, right? You have to have faith. But secondly, you have to know who you are. Not all of the great attributes about yourself. All right. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying have a great self-confidence and it's great. No. I mean, really, who are you? Why are you here? Why are you here? And if you don't know that, then you need to go back to question number 1, faith, and figure out who or what do you have faith in? And how does that relate to you? How did it or he or she or they or them or whatever, what are all the other pronouns that like they've tried to put out to I don't know what's the deal. Anyway, they like have all these like gi or something. I don't know. Anyway, when you figure out who or what or whose or what's you have faith in, then you can start to answer the question of why you're here. Now, I believe in a literal creation. I am also a very intelligent, well-learned, scientifically inclined, critical thinker. And people think that those two things can't coincide, and they very much can. But that's not what we're talking about right now. I do very literally believe in a literal creation by a literal creator who created human beings in his image. I do not believe his refers to male genitalia or anything like that. I believe it just is a more general, but if you have to believe that God has a penis to make you happy, you just go ahead and believe that. That's fine. I don't care. Whatever makes you happy. It doesn't, I don't think that changes any attributes of God. I don't think to say that God has a penis or not is going to change any attributes. Jesus, that's a whole different thing. But God, no. Anyway, knowing that you were created in the image of God, me knowing that I was created in the image of God, that I am here for a purpose, that I was fearfully and wonderfully made, and that I am designed specifically for the destiny that he has for me. I am not a mistake, all right? And it has taken me 45 years to get to that point. I have been miserable for 45 years because I sincerely believed I was a mistake. I even yelled at God. I would be so angry at him and I'm like, why didn't you make me a man? Why didn't you make me a man? I don't understand. If I was a man, I could accomplish the things that I need to accomplish because I wouldn't constantly be getting the questioning. I wouldn't constantly be getting the second guessing. I wouldn't have people saying, well, you just have a bad attitude. Or I wouldn't have people say, well, you're just too pushy or this or that and everything else. How do I know? Because I got brothers who are very much like me and they get by with all of it. But me, I'm a girl, female. So there's an obstacle, right? I would say, why am I fat? If I wasn't fat, I would have so much more potential. And it's true because thin girls they don't necessarily get the same attention or the same respect as a man does, but they do get a little bit more acknowledgement. Why did God make me fat? Why did God give me PCOS? That was not on me. I was 8 years old when I got my period, people. All right, that was not on me. That was nothing I did. I was not fat at the time. You can't blame me. It wasn't because I was fat and lazy. I was outside all the time doing stuff and getting in all sorts of stuff. But, I was a very active person at that time. I was not sitting around in the house. And so it's in my personality, the way that I think, because I am a person who is very analytical. You will see that in here. I love to talk about makeup. That's what this is about. I want to talk about makeup. And I thought about this channel and I was like, can I only talk about makeup? I can't. I have to analyze. I have to. And if you like that, and if this helps you, you're going to hang out. And if not, just fast forward through these parts. I don't care about that either. Just get to the makeup stuff. You can just, drag your little mouse until you start seeing palettes and earrings and dresses and lipstick and whatever else it is. And, when I'm not rambling, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm not going to put bookmarks for you because that's just too much work for me. I'll make you do the work. But still, I would ask and I would say, why did you make me this way? Why did you make me this way, right? I'm so analytical. I have to look at everything from every side. So somebody comes at me and says, X, Y, Z. I say, wait a minute. Really? Trump is a racist. Really? I'm going to have to look into that now. I don't like the guy. And this was the thing is, I've been on both sides of it where I supported him but didn't like him and where I absolutely detested him but still couldn't stand his opposition either. So I'm I've been on I've never been a Trump supporter. I also haven't been a complete Trump hater. I was close. I was really close. I don't like the guy. I don't like the guy. He just gets me the wrong way. But I have to look at the facts. And if you put stuff out there that just does not make sense, I'm going to call you on it every single time. And that has got me in so much trouble because I have been doing this since I was a young kid. That doesn't go over well. Especially when you are the youngest of 7 and the first 5 are brothers. And they're really smart. Didn't go over well. So yeah, I made my brothers didn't like me very much because I would question everything. I'd be like, of course when you're like a kid, that's not true. That's not what I heard. I was very obnoxious. I was the youngest, little tattletale and pain in the butt. But you got to know who you are. And the only way to know who you are is know who or what you have faith in. It is not about self-confidence. That comes later. All right. Self-love is a whole different topic. Self-confidence, that comes next ish. But self-identity, you got to know who you are. You are not a mistake. You are absolutely not a mistake. You were created, yes, I dare say, on this earth. You were intentionally placed on this earth for a reason. If you weren't, you might as well give up now. That could get me in trouble. But I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are people who feel like they have no purpose, and that's the whole point. They're not happy because they don't feel like they have a purpose. They don't feel like there's any reason they're here. Why am I here? I'm a screw up. Why am I here? And this is how I felt my whole life. But the reason that I never actually, man, I was suicidal. I was depressed. I was a mess. I wanted desperately to die. It was the only thing. I mean, unless you have been like, I don't mean like just depressed. I mean like truly suicidal, where I drove by somebody's, I was in Duluth, Minnesota. I drove by a funeral home, and there was a line all the way around the building of people waiting to go in and for the viewing. And two things came over me. I was so jealous that that person got to die and I didn't. And I also was completely heartbroken because I knew, and I was not wrong, I knew the only person who would be in that line, who would want to be in that line, would be my mother. The only person. I have a big family. And I knew at that time there was no one else who actually had that much concern for me. And I wasn't wrong. Now, things have changed, but things have partially changed because I found my own identity. And I found my identity in the one that I have my faith in. And at that, you must. The reason that I did not end my life is because I had faith, but I didn't have my identity. But it was half there. I knew who I had faith in. And it ticked me off, actually. And I had a very difficult conversation with God, because I believe you can talk to God. I sincerely believe that. I know it. It's not just a belief. I know it. You don't have to know it, but I know it. And I had the conversation and said, I have to do that. I need to stop. I can't be putting myself through. And it wasn't even myself. I felt like I was making other people have to deal with me. I was an obstacle for other people. I was a burden for other people. And God told me, you can try, but you will fail because you're not done. And I was pissed. I cannot even tell you how mad. I was so angry because I knew he wasn't lying. And I had visions of myself with like half my face blown off or like in a wheelchair, whatever. And that's literally what flashed in my head. And I was so mad because I knew I couldn't get out that easily. I was not ready to leave this life. And I hated it. I wanted to leave. So, wow, that got way deeper than I wanted it to get. People put trigger warnings. I'm not going to put a trigger warning because I think trigger warnings are stupid. There's a trigger warning. I think that when you put a trigger warning on something, you're shading people from what they need to be exposed to. Because if you're going to be triggered by something like this, you probably need to be exposed to it. Because I'm not being mean. I'm telling you my story. I'm not saying anything that you don't need to hear. I'm saying this is what happened to me. Is I was there and I wanted to end it. And then I had faith and I couldn't. That was the one thing. But that is the reason that I eventually got past it. But it took a long time, and it took me going back to the one that I had faith in and saying, okay, why am I still here? It doesn't make sense. My life is destroyed. Everything I cared about, my integrity is gone. My innocence is gone. My value is gone. I believed this, right? I believed everything had been destroyed. Everything had been taken, or I had given it. I'd either given it or had been taken from mostly taken, but not in all cases. And or people believed my integrity. I had people believing things about me that, and even now, I have people that believe things that I'm like, really? When did I do that? But I mean, that's how things are. So, I mean, this has gotten a lot longer than I wanted it to, but that's, I guess, maybe good in a way. So I really hope that this gets somebody. I really hope this gets somebody. And I really believe that this will get somebody. There's a reason. I know the reason that I made it through all this stuff, and you don't even know the half of it. You just know a little bit. I told you. The reason I made it through this stuff was because someone else is there right now. And I have to tell my story. I have to tell you how I got to that point of happiness, because it's my duty. This is a life that was given to me. This is like happiness that was given to me, and I have to give it to you. And so I really hope that my story helps somebody, and that you understand, and that you can start to find that happiness and find that destiny that's in you. Oh my goodness, it sounds so cheesy. It really sounds cheesy, but it's so true. And so I feel like an inspirational speaker. Just reach down deep and find that destiny inside you. No. I'm not even like that. I'm not. Just look yourself in the eye and say, you know what? You're on this earth for a reason. If you weren't, you'd be gone. You're here for a reason. So now figure that out. Figure it out. But you got to start with the faith, and then you go to who you are. All right? That's all I got. I am so glad you guys have joined with me. I was thrilled to have people popping in and out and leaving little comments and hearing that. I love that. It makes me so happy. I'm really enjoying this. I know it's a holiday weekend, so I know you guys are busy, but I know people come back and they watch these and have left comments for me and have messaged me. And so I'm really getting a kick out of that. We're all over the place. We talk about makeup. We talk about big boobs. We talk about losing your hair. We talk about peeing in your hair. We talk about relationships. We talk about going to Haiti. We talk about my dog. We talk about being really suicidally depressed, and how you get past that, and how you find happiness. Be happy at any size. You do not have to be skinny to be happy. And if you are trying to get skinny so you can get happy, you will never be happy. All right. I have spoken. Love you guys. I will see you in the next one.